Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Swiatek Rybakina dumped out of Qatar Open. Top seed Swiatek fell short against a revitalized Sakari who rolled back the years as she clawed her way to a Navy 2-6, 6-4, 7-5 victory, while 10th seed Mboko outmuscled Rybakina 7-5, 4-6, 6-4. It's been a while since I had a big one like today, said Sakari, who reached number 3 in the rankings in 2022 but has slipped to 52nd. When you drop in the rankings and you're not playing good tennis, you start doubting yourself, and you think you are never going to beat those players again. So it's a huge process you have to go through in your head that you can do it. The 30-year-old Greek won her first 3 career meetings with the young Swiatek, but the last of those victories came in 2021. The Pole had won their last 4 matches, the most recent in straight sets in Qatar last year. Last year in the second round here against her, I was not confident. I was not believing in myself, and this year it's different. I feel a lot better, said Sakari, who will now face 14th seed Karolina Muchova, who saw off the unseeded Russian Anna Kalinske 6-3, 6-4. I've missed that feeling of going deep into tournaments. Swiatek, who won the Qatar tournament, a WTA 1000 event, in 2022, 2023 and 2024, started as if she would repeat last year's route when she broke twice in the first set. Sakari began to fight back in the last game, but Swiatek saved a break point to seal the set. Sakari continued her upswing by breaking in the second game of the second set. Yet every time she gained an edge, Swiatek responded. The Pole broke in the 7th game, but Sakari steadied and broke in the 10th game to take the set. It was the first time in their 7 meetings that a match between the pair had gone to a third set. In a seesaw deciding set, Swiatek saved a match point on her serve before Sakari held to love, the Greek going on to win in the next game, on her third match point. Mboko's strength. The match lasted 1 minute under 2.5 hours, and was followed by an equally gripping contest as Mboko underlined her growing reputation in a contest that was just 6 minutes shorter. Mboko, who had already defeated Rybakina in last year's Montreal semifinals, managed to break the Kazakh serve 3 times in the opening set alone. On the flip side, she lost her own twice, but that was still enough for her to take the first set 7-5. She dropped her serve twice again in the second set, which Rybakina won 6-4. But the 19-year-old Canadian had the last word in the final set, winning it 6-4. Mboko, who was swept aside by world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in the round of 16 in Melbourne, will face last year's runner-up, Jelena Ostapenko, in the Doha semifinals. The Latvian, who won the French Open in 2017, advanced by beating the Italian Elisabetta Cocchiaretto 7-5, 6-4. A creative chronicle of Swiatek and Rybakina's Qatar Open upsets. The sun dipped into the horizon over Doha, Qatar, casting long, warm shadows across the Khalifa International Tennis and Squash Complex. For a week, the crowds had been gifted thrilling tennis, blistering serves, grinding rallies, and moments that seemed destined for highlight reels. Yet nothing captured the sport's unpredictable heartbeat quite like the quarterfinal day of the 2026 Qatar Open, when 2 of women's tennis brightest stars were sent packing in stunning fashion. This was not just another day in Doha. It was a turning point, a collision of expectation and reality. Round pushpin, the favorites enter the arena. The air crackled with possibility as IGA Swiatek, the world number 2 and multi-time Qatar Open champion, took to the court. Odds were stacked in her favor. A seasoned warrior of the WTA Tour, she had dominated Doha in years past, lifting the trophy multiple times and walking away with a legacy that few could rival. Across the stadiums, Jelena Rybakina, freshly crowned Australian Open champion and the tournament's 2nd seed, was similarly expected to make a deep run. Her powerful serves and relentless aggression made her one of the hardest hitters in the game. Fans awaited the familiar spectacle of power tennis played with clinical precision. But tennis, in its barest form, is a game of margins, and margins, on that day, favored the underdogs. Tennis racket and ball shocking turn in the Swiatek match. From the start, there was a sense of inevitability about Swiatek's dominance. In her first set against Maria Sakkari, the former world number 3, Swiatek was clinical, breaking with ease, dictating rallies, playing with a level of control that outclassed her opponent early on. She took the first set 6-2 with confidence that seemed to echo her legacy. Yet momentum in tennis is as fickle as a desert breeze. Sakari, once a top-ranked player who had slipped in ranking, began clawing her way back. She played with a ferocity born of nothing to lose, weaving deep returns, unpredictable angles, and aggression that cut into Swiatek's rhythm. Each point became a battle, each rally a test of resolve. With a break of serve and nervous energy pulsing through the stands, Sakari fought back to take the second set. And though Swiatek regained composure early in the decider, Sakari's resilient shot-making and refusal to yield saw her edge ahead, ultimately sealing the match 2-6, 6-4, 7-5. It was one of those rare moments in sport where expectation met its match. Swiatek, the reigning Doha titan, was defeated. The top seed, who many expected to reclaim her crown, was out, leaving fans stunned and analysts scrambling for explanations. Cyclone behind the scenes, more than just a match. There was more to this story than numbers and scores. Swiatek, often praised for her mental fortitude and tactical intelligence, had faced fresh challenges. Months earlier, she had been navigating the demanding tour calendar, injuries among peers, and rising pressure to maintain her status at the top. Yet in Doha, it seemed this pressure, paired with an opponent rediscovering her best tennis, proved too strong. Sakari, in contrast, appeared liberated. Once ranked much higher before a dip in form, the Greek veteran spoke of rediscovering belief, the quiet, internal confidence that she could still beat the game's best. "It's been a huge process in my head," she said, capturing the emotional weight that often defines sport at this level. This wasn't merely an upset, it was an assertion of competitive will. Enter the Canadian teen, Victoria Mboko. Parallel to Swiatek's world-class battle was another showdown that would change narratives. Swiatek Rybakina, the powerful Kazakh, stood across the net from a young Canadian force, Victoria Mboko. At just 19 years old, Mboko was a rising star whose game had already begun to turn heads. Despite her youth, she showed fearless shot selection and an ability to handle pressure well beyond her years. Their match was a gauntlet. Rybakina struck her trademark booming serves and flat ground strokes, testing Mboko's defenses early. The first set ended narrowly in Mboko's favor, 7-5, a surprise that was quickly becoming the theme of the day. Rybakina wasn't done. She dug deep, clawed back the second set, and forced a decider, a tense 10-game battle where momentum swung like a pendulum. In the end, it was Mboko's fearless adaptability and touch at the net that gave her the edge, breaking serve at the crucial